that's K. Kavita, who's currently under the ED scanner of allegations of corruption with regards to the Delhi liquor policy. Kavita has now held a press conference. That was what we relayed to you live while she speaks extensively. First about the women's reservation bill that she's been pushing, and right after came to the point on ED summons on her, asking her to appear for questioning in the Delhi liquor policy alleged scandal where she may be, where she is seen as someone who fronts the South cartel, also 65% shareholder of a liquor company called Indo Spirit, which has worked extensively with the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi to frame the policy in view of gaining commission and kickbacks. Now, Kavita says this is Modi's way to try and suppress the opposition. This is nothing but targeting Telangana only because Telangana is going to elections in a few months' time. So this is basically political targeting. It's time for all the opposition netas to come together and fight this. Telangana is not weak. We will not bow down. These are the strong words that she's spoken as she's elaborated on the ED summons, citing that she is often, she's in fact responded to the ED time and again, has been very much present for any kind of questioning. She's been highly cooperative with the central agencies, yet the ED is in a tearing hurry. This is what Kavita says as she speaks about the ED summons on the sidelines of her press conference where she was trying to focus around women's reservation bill. She's also holding a protest at Jantar Mantar on the same, calling in all the opposition netas to come together. Let me cut across to Ashutosh Mishra, who is right there at the spot. Ashutosh, Kavita started off talking about the women's reservation bill and then came down to the point of ED summons. Of course, she had to address that because that seems to be the prime focus here. The news that's really grabbed headlines for the last week is Kavita being issued summons by the Enforcement Directorate that she's asked for a little more time. She could be the face of the South cartel who's designed the policy with intention to gain kickbacks and commissions. Now, Kavita says this is just election gimmick. BJP is trying to target Telangana right ahead of elections. Nothing but political vendetta.
Well, though, of course, the press conference was to give more information about women reservation bill. But before the press conference started, remember, I did tell you that there will be focus, of course, on this ED case, also looking at the current scenario. And she did speak on that. And if you remember, during the question-answer session, the third question that I particularly asked on the accusation, the merit of those accusations by the ED, whether do you know Abhishek Bunnapalli and Arun Pillai, who have been recently arrested by the Enforcement Directorate? She said, of course, sarcastically, that how do you know more details about the ED? And then there was a silence of a second, and she said, I'll answer all those questions to the Enforcement Directorate. So, of course, she doesn't want to get into the merit of the accusations leveled by the Enforcement Directorate, but clearly saying that how she was being summoned on 9th, then she sought a week of time, then also said, come to my place. Being a woman, you can have also a virtual interrogation through video conferencing, but everything has been rejected by the investigative agency, and finally she'll be appearing on 11th of March before the ED in this particular excise investigation case. But yes, what you heard from Kavita exactly 30 minutes ago, you heard it from KTR, and moreover, you will hear the similar from Telangana Chief Minister and BRS Supremo KCR tomorrow in Telangana, in Hyderabad, when he'll be addressing the entire party cadre. So one thing that you see, what Kavita has messaged out, and this is perhaps being now talked from all the opposition camp, that opposition has to unite it. It is the Congress prerogative, and they need to think about the strength, whether they want to come together or not. And subsequently, one common issue that all the opposition talking about, that how selectively this coercive action of the central agencies is being only done against the opposition leader. So there what you see, it seems to be the one the opposition anthem, you can say, will often raised by in different states, in different elections. And of course, when it comes to the gimmicks and when it comes to one-liner and the punching political statements, both KTR and Kavita are master into that. They know that what message you coming in the national capital you give out to the cross nation is much way convincing than giving the same message from Hyderabad. So this is what, the battle of optics now being played by the BRS at the moment. This has similarly played by the other opposition leaders. And as we see that this is not just a stop. this is going to escalate further. Remember, often they have been raising about the investigation by Telangana SIT, where eventually they arrested few people, where they say there was one attempt to topple the government. They formed the SIT and they were challenging that if we are ready, without going to court seeking stay on any investigation, if we are ready to face the investigation, why the person BL Santosh, who has been named by the Telangana SIT, why he is not going to appear before the SIT and joining the investigation, rather seeking judicial
so we
stay
really heard Kavita point by point, really pulling up the Modi government, accusing that the ED reaches an election state even before Modi himself. This is an election gimmick, that's what she calls it. And while that said, she says, I'm highly cooperative. Whatever questions posed to me, I will respond. I have nothing to hide. This is the same Kavita who has taken extension, so asked for some more time to appear before the Enforcement Directorate, while she's now in Delhi holding a press conference and speaking about the summons issued to her, saying she'll fight back. Let's have a listen yet again.
तो हमें एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट ने नोटिस दिया और बोले कि आपको 9 मार्च को आना है। तो हमने कहा हमारा कार्यक्रम है, हम 16 मार्च को आएंगे, ऐसा हमारा रिक्वेस्ट था। लेकिन पता नहीं उनको क्या जल्दबाजी है, पता नहीं ये जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन दिल्ली एक्साइज पॉलिसी को लेकर चल रही है, इसमें कौन सी आफत आने वाली है अगर हमें 2 दिन का और समय दे देंगे। उन्होंने कहा नहीं आपको आना ही है। हमने कहा 10 मार्च को हमारा धरना है भाई, तो 11 को आ जाएंगे, तो 11 को बोले। लेकिन इस बीच में जो ईडी का और हमारा कम्युनिकेशन हुआ था, इसका मुझे आप सबसे शेयर करना है। देखिए, जब भी एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट और या किसी भी इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसी एक वुमेन सिटीजन को इंट्रोगेट करना चाहती है, तो एक फंडामेंटल राइट वुमेन का होता है कि वुमेन के घर पे आके इन्वेस्टिगेट करें। और पूरा इसका लॉ में हमें सपोर्ट है वुमेन के लिए। और बहुत सारे कोर्ट केसेस भी हैं जिनमें जजमेंट वुमेन के तरफ आए। तो हमने ईडी को बीच में रिक्वेस्ट किया कि 10 तारीख को बाकायदा, अगर 11 तारीख को आपको इन्वेस्टिगेट करना है, हमारे घर पे आइए। अक्यूज किसी के साथ आपको इंट्रोगेट करवाना है तो उनको भी लेके आइए, घर में बैठ के इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि लॉ हमें सपोर्ट करती है। उन्होंने कहा नहीं, आपको खुद चल के आना होगा। देखिए, मैं तो पॉलिटिकल लीडर हूं, लकीली बाय गॉड्स ब्लेसिंग पूरा पार्टी हमारे साथ है, हमारे पास साधन है तो हम पहुंच सकते हैं। लेकिन मैं मीडिया मित्रों से ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, कई आम महिला किसी गांव में है, कुछ इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है, तो इतना हमने कोविड के दौर में देखा है कि वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस से मेडिसिन भी पहुंच सकता है, डायग्नोसिस भी हो सकता है, तो इंटरोगेशन क्यों नहीं हो सकता है वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस से। व्हेन इट कम्स टू द ओरिजिनल ईडी summon, we will completely side with them, support with them, because we understand the obligations of the government and the agencies. We will 100% support them. Today the question is, when we look at Telangana data, from last August, in fact from last June, Government of India has constantly been sending its agencies to Telangana. Now question is why? Because Telangana assembly polls are there in this November-December. So the modus operandi of BJP has been कि जहां भी इलेक्शन है वहां मोदी से पहले ईडी पहुंच जाता है। तो हमारे तेलंगाना में भी यही हुआ है। तकरीबन सारे बिजनेस हाउसेस पे, एक 500+ बिजनेस हाउसेस पे आईटी रेड होता है। सीबीआई के रेड 100 होते हैं तेलंगाना के राज्य में। ईडी तो कम से कम 200 जगहों पे उन्होंने छापा मारा है। और एनआईए एजेंसी ने 500 to 600 मिनिमम लोगों को बुला के, उनको डरा के, धमका के, अलग-अलग तरीके का काम वहां पे चल रहा है।
All right, now I'm going to cut across to NV Subhash, who's a BJP spokesperson from Telangana, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Subhash, Kavita says the ED reaches an election state even before Modi does. This is political targeting and we will not bow down. She says Telangana is not weak, Telangana will not bow down. Tell us a little more about the allegations you've leveled of corruption against the KCR government.
See, this is a politically motivated statement because everyone knows in Telangana from past 8 years, as far as mission Bhagiratha is concerned, and Kaleshwaram project, which is supposed to be the bigger than the Bakaranangal project, which always claimed by the BRS leaders in Telangana. There is so much of corruption has been gone, and the contractors, they have been given extra mileage to them, and then in even the redesigning work also, where the kickbacks have been given to the BRS and the KCR family. So even before the elections, like Bharatiya Janata Party has been always claiming that there are more and more corruption charges have been levied against the one particular family, that is the KCR family. And then when the time comes, definitely the due process will be taken, and then the investigation agencies will take their own course. It should be understood that whenever there is a corruption charges, and then whenever there are some charges against KCR's family and the BRS leaders, they always say that this is the mastermind of Modi government. Whenever there are elections, Modi will be sending the investigation agencies. That is not true. The transparency and accountability is the priority and the major concern for this country. And I don't think this has gone very well with the people of Telangana, because they are the Telangana women, especially women, they are against Kavita because there are so many atrocities against women in Telangana, and Kavita doesn't come and then consult the private families. There are so many Dalit women has been targeted. Then there are so many deaths have happened in the Dalit families also. None of these issues has been taken by Ms. Kavita or the leaders from the BRS. They always claim that Bharatiya Janata Party is behind that. We see a transparency and accountability in the Narendra Modi's government. These are the politically motivated, and when the charges, when ED and the CBI comes and then they knock the door, the one thing, the one formula, the magic formula they have is that the Modi is under. Why the common people have not been targeted? There are so many business houses.
KTR in fact did mention about how there are 5,800 cases by the central agencies against opposition leaders and barely 23 are convicted. So this surely shows that ED is being used to heckle the opposition.
No. You see, the 5,800 cases are there even on the Bharatiya Janata Party Karyakartas and the business houses who are soft with the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Yeah, to that effect, they say that BJP netas are not being investigated. Many corruption cases against many BJP netas. Why has there been no? Why is it not being pursued by the central agencies with the same enthusiasm?
Definitely, they have been pursued in that. No investigation has been given a clean chit to the netas of the Bharatiya Janata Party or who have switched their loyalties from other parties to the Bharatiya Janata Party. None of the leaders have got a clean sheet. They got a clean sheet. This is absolutely false and then baseless. They're only targeting the Bharatiya Janata Party because the Bharatiya Janata Party is the only party in Telangana which is now in focus. We have already conceded, we have already surpassed the Congress party. So all the parties in Telangana, they wanted to target the Bharatiya Janata Party. This is absolutely the false, baseless. Again, I'm telling, it's only false and baseless. They just wanted to malign the image of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Narendra Modi's government. Let the investigation agencies take its own course. Let the law take its own course. If they are
she evoked B.L. Santosh. B.L. Santosh, a senior BJP leader, being named by the SIT in Telangana. Some case that's against him, which he's not adhered to summons, not appeared as your own leader of the BJP. What would you say to that?
B.L. Santosh is nothing to do with Telangana, the MLAs in the post-gate case. It is fabricated by the leaders of the Telangana, the BRS leaders, the MLAs. They themselves have given information to the media and to the police. They just wanted to implicate, and then they wanted to, just tarnish the image of Mr. B.L. Santosh. And we are not in favor of getting MLAs from the BRS party because hearty elections are there in just 1 year. And I don't see any reason because these MLAs have already switched their loyalties from other political parties. Even if we take to the BJP, we are not going to win.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Subhash, for joining us on that. Kavita now will be appearing before the ED on the 11th of March. We're going to track developments as she's also focusing around the Jantar Mantar protest on Women's Reservation Bill, right at a time she's been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate.